the democracy, what about the 2020 riots where they were burning down cities? No arrests, no indictments, right? They were getting them out. And in fact, the cities that this were happening were actually paying the rioters. And now you go ahead and you look at Letitia James, right? Let's slide over into that one.
Yeah,
let's get
into that one.
Let's go over and get Trump on, he's boosting the prices of his assets so that he can get favorable loans. What did she just get indicted for? What are they looking at her for right now? Doing the same exact thing.
So same exact thing. For one, she claimed that her home residence is Virginia, which in order to represent New York, she has to live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So she's getting a discount on that.
Yep.
So that's a lie.
Yep. Married her father, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Her father's her husband now, too. She put that on the document.
There you go. So all these to get favorable mortgage rates and loan guarantees.
And that's exactly what she went after Trump for. And she campaigned on it. I'm going to get Trump. I'm going to get... How do you even campaign on something so loud and so out there?
Because she knew about it, clearly.
Well, yeah, I guess she...
Experience. I'm doing this, and I know it's wrong, but I know he's got to be doing it, too.
Yeah, but that takes a lot of stones. You know what I mean?
What do they say, Damon? Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house.
Yeah, well, she lives in a glass house, and I guess she has a lot of stones. So that was almost bittersweet for me. I don't like to see anybody go to jail because I don't like to see anybody break the law. But if you break the law, you go to jail. But when you go after somebody for the same exact thing, saying that they did the same exact thing that you are doing, but what worse, even lying about your residence, where you actually live when you represent New York, saying you live in Virginia, lying and saying that your father is your husband, which I don't know if that's even possible in some states.
Yeah, well, it's illegal in most states. What are we talking about?
Yeah, who knows? Well, I don't know. So, but ask what's her name? Married her brother.
Oh, Ilhan Omar.
Yeah. So that's how her brother got over here. It was her husband. So, but that's okay. That doesn't get covered.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't cover.
They don't talk about that because that would be a problematic to bring that one up. No, it's just. But like I said, man, we keep seeing all these people doing all these illegal activities, trying to say that Trump is doing the illegal activities. People are buying this because the media is spinning it, right? I always talk about the propaganda outlets that are the media, spewing their hate-filled nonsense. I mean, where do we go? I just want to see some accountability. That's all.
Yeah, there needs to be. I mean, for one, the media, I can't stand them because they will just lie to the mouthpiece of Democrats. They will lie. They gave more coverage to this guy, Obregon Garcia, than they gave all the families put together that were raped, brutally murdered by. I mean, literally. I mean, if you look it up, it's sad. I would look it up right now. I don't feel like, but it's the amount of coverage that they gave that compared to this one guy who was a legal, documented MS-13 member who was deemed a terrorist organization group, human trafficking, wife beater. I mean, who knows what he got away with? And they're crying over this one guy, the Maryland father. I mean, they make me sick. This guy, Von Holland and Cory Booker. Well, I can't stand Cory Booker anyway. I can't wait till he gets out. And I think I know somebody's probably going to run against him. So I hope that they do because they have a good shot at winning, and they'll have my support 100%. I don't care. Norm. If Norm ran against Cory Booker, Norm, I throw all my support at you.
Likewise, Norm.
So, yeah, we need to get Cory Booker out of there. So, but yeah, so I mean, that's why I believe though the media, because they're such mouthpieces for Democrats, like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, all the alphabet media out there. I could just imagine this, and this may be true. This might make sense. They all get called into the office, the whole team. Because their ratings were in the toilet, during Biden. They didn't have anything else to talk about other than lie for Biden. No, we can't keep up with him. He's sharp as a tack. Yeah, okay. Everyone knew that.
Well, we know that they have intelligence agents that are in those offices. So, I mean, this is all coming down from the same people.
Yeah. So, but the thing is, I guarantee you that all CNN, all those, they called every employee in, and they said, this is what we're going to do. All right? If you want to stay in business, every single one, here's your mail-in ballots right here. Fill them out right now and vote for Trump. We need them in, or we're going under.
Yeah. Well, that's what boosts their ratings. That's all they can do is feed the TDS, Trump derangement syndrome.
Yeah, and then the ratings are still in the basement. But they got like an uptick though. They really did because what would they do without Trump? I mean, literally.
That's all they do is complain all day. All they do is complain all day. Oh, he's doing this. Oh, he's doing that. Oh, da 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 da. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, there's no newsworthy things out there that this is what we have to focus on.
Yeah.
Well, they're rage baiting, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to. Keep everybody fired up and riled up, and they'll watch more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is. But I just can't. Sometimes I watch it just that, I don't know, to torture myself or what, but I just want to see the difference. Because I do all my own research, especially when I hear something, even with Fox. I'll watch Fox, and but when they say something, I go and I try to cite it, wherever it came from, because I want to know. I want to know the truth. I'm not just going to believe what they're saying, because everyone has an angle. Obviously Fox, they don't hide it. They're conservative Republicans, and they'll say it that they are. They're on that side. I mean, they don't hide it at all. All the other media are like, oh no, we tell the news how it is. Yeah, right. But
I solely do independent media. I mean, that's where I'm at. I like to hear conversations about what's going on and how it's really affecting us, and break it down, hold my hand like a small child so I can understand it, and it helps me form my opinions on different things as well.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at different areas. I mean, when I interviewed people at the fake Tesla protest, I mean, everything, they repeated the same thing over and over again. It was like, wow, man, you guys are so brainwashed.
And that's it.
By watching the same thing over and over again.
And that's it. And until they do something and they break up that monopoly that is the mainstream propaganda media, I mean, you can't shake some of these people out of it.
Yeah. And if anybody missed my podcast, Jersey Shore podcast on Monday night at 8 o'clock, you can go back and look at it. It's you can find it on Rumble, YouTube, you can find it on my Facebook, X, whatever. But one of the clips that I played, it was about the Tesla protesters and stuff like that. But I found a clip by Candace Owens. And it could have made more sense. She was talking about the media and how they just said repeated lie over and over again. Eventually, somebody believed it. She cited a test that the CIA did. So they got 18 people that were in the CIA, and one regular person like me, say, So the 18 CIA people, they showed them a picture of a triangle, and they told them all, when we show you this picture, you say it's a square. Okay, and they go down the line, and and they don't tell, say me, one that doesn't know. So then they go through all 18 of the CIA agents that show them the triangle, and they all say it's a square. By the time they get to me, the 19th guy that's not in on it, he's looking at it, and this is a true story. She said too. I looked it up. This is a real thing they did, and he's looking at it, and he's like, thinking in his head it was a freaking triangle, but he said a square.
Because he doesn't want to be the odd man out. That's how they get him.
Yeah, because so many other people said it was a square. He's like, it's a square.
Would you be able to say it's a triangle?
I would say it was a triangle. I'll be looking at all of them. I'm like, you guys, what's that?
Because it's all about telling the truth, Damon. That's it.
Yeah.
You can't lie just because it's you're going along with the flow. You always have to speak the truth.
Yeah, I mean, I would have looked at him like, what are you guys crazy? Or I started thinking about myself. I'm like, did I eat something wrong? You know what I mean? I'm like, that's a triangle.
It's a triangle, man.
Yeah. I'm a carpenter. I know.
What are y'all trying to circle? It's a circle.
Yeah. It's like this stupid joke I was telling when I was younger, and it's so stupid, but it's funny when it's the same concept. So say you got like 5 of your friends, and 4 of them, including me, said we know the joke. We know the joke makes no sense whatsoever, none. But when the joke's being said, when it's done, 4 people just start cracking up laughing.
And then the last guy's gonna crack up.
Yeah, the joke was what was it? It was I was saying, here's a joke. A bear and B bear were in the tub. A bear said to B bear, pass me the soap. B bear said, what do you think I am, a radio? And everybody just starts laughing like it's funny. And then the 5th guy starts, oh, yeah, I get it, starts laughing. And that actually makes the joke funny.
That's it. That's now people are starting to laugh for real.
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely true, though. You continue to tell people, the lies until they start buying it. Then they start repeating it. Now, everybody, if you don't repeat their lies, well, you're not part of their club.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm just tired of it. And like you said, you want to see indictments. So do I, man. I mean, they went after.
And I don't want to see nobody go to jail. Like, that's not who I am. I don't want to wish bad on anybody. I just want accountability, because we can't get this country back until we start to hold people accountable.
Yeah, and if I lived in Maryland and I voted this guy in and represent me,
and now he's taking your tax money to go down there and try to bring back an illegal immigrant who is part of a gang.
Yeah. Who are deemed terrorists.
Yeah, after, all the corporations are fleeing the state of Delaware. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maryland, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. Maryland, Delaware.
Well, who knows?
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't really matter. But I just can't believe it. We were invaded. Like that's what you call an invasion, wide open border. You're not a sovereign country without a border. And we weren't a sovereign country. We were completely invaded. And now they're all up in arms because we're removing these people that are murderers, people that are in human trafficking, people that are selling drugs. Over 100,000 fentanyl deaths a year. Does anybody care about that? The Democrats don't care. That's the thing. They're still grasping at straws. They have nothing to run on. They lost all accountability, so they have to take the little bit that they have and try to run with it. Now, if I were Trump, but I know Trump's not going to do this because Trump, he doesn't really care. He's going to run what he's running on and just do it, and he doesn't want to. He just wants to win and shove it right in their face and say, this is what I'm doing. I campaigned on it. So people want me to do it, so I'm doing it. But if I were him, the smaller things like this, I would say, you know what? Fine. El Salvadorian president, too. I played a clip from that. He was in the White House the other day. And the press were there, and they were asking Trump about bringing him back. And Trump was like, no, we can't bring him back. Then he turned it over to Pam Bondi, and Pam Bondi explained why he was illegal, and he returned his country of origin. Then went to Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller explained even further. And then he said, well, that's a question you have to ask for the president of El Salvador. And he's sitting right next to Trump. And they said, would you bring him back to the United States? And he said, how can I answer that question? You want me to smuggle a terrorist into the United States? He said, I could never do that. I'd have to smuggle him in. Like, I'm not going to smuggle a terrorist in the United States.
Just so we need to deport it again, yeah.
Yeah. So, and he goes, and they said, well, will you release him from prison? He said, no. He said, Venezuela was known as the murder capital of the world. So we have a card. Hold on one second. So it was the murder capital of the world. He said, I'm not going back to that. He said, I'm not in for releasing terrorists onto my streets. He said, no, he's staying in prison. And then even Stephen Miller said, fine. You want to bring him back? He'll be back here for a day. He'll go to court, and we're going to deport him again. So if I was Trump, I would say, you know what? You want us to bring him back for a day to shut everybody up? Because give them, that's all the media.
News cycle, yeah.
Yeah, give him a new news cycle. Have him try to go crazy, look through the books and scour the internet, try to find something else. Because that's what they got right now. It's, yeah, sure. I'll bring him back. He goes to court, judge says, you're deported. Right back. That's what I would do. And they'd be like, oh, man, now what are we going to do?
Yeah.
So we got a caller on hold right now. So, hey, Carl, you're live on the air. What's your name? Where are you from?
Yeah, this is Chuck from Florida calling in.
Hey, Chuck, how are you?
Good, sir. I just wanted to speak about the current debacle that's going on with the stock market. Yeah, this is all orchestrated. I mean, again, President Trump, he's doing the right thing. These tariffs are very unfair. But there were so many. First of all, the stock market was all overbought to begin with. It was due for a correction. You know what I mean? The Biden administration just pumped billions and billions of dollars into it. Nancy Pelosi and all the other people got rich. And it's due for a correction. And we're seeing that now. We're in this correction phase. It has nothing to do with these tariffs. I mean, the inflation was much worse for the economy than what these tariffs are going to be. And he's doing the right move by bringing these industries back to America. When we have no jobs here because everything is being sent overseas, people are going to sing a different song. No matter how cheap the stuff is, you won't be able to buy it because you won't have a job. And in addition to that, I always thought that we should have a special tax. Here in Florida, the Chinese government owns a lot of our farmland that produces the strawberries and orange fields and everything else. In other countries, we can't own no property in China. I can't go to China and say, I'm going to go buy a farm or acreage or anything. We're not permitted. In many countries, that's the truth. So why don't we have a special tax on this Chinese property? Let them pay a special property tax where the rest of us don't have to pay property tax. Let the foreigners and that would bring down the cost of the farms. Now, a lot of things that would a lot of people would be very upset because they would see the price of their home going down. But really, this is not sustainable. These high prices are not sustainable. You're going to see, as we did in 2008, a real bring down of real estate prices. I mean, many of the homes on my block, one house in particular, that I can think of, it's just 2 houses away from me. I mean, it's selling now for about $500,000. In 2008, it sold for $20,000. So, I mean, yes, we might see a huge correction like that. People will be very upset. But again, the stock market is, a lot of this was all foreign investment that came in. Foreigners bought these stocks and they're going to raise them up. I mean, again, the Chinese owns a lot of our slaughterhouses. I believe they own Dean Food and Smithfield. A lot of these companies were all purchased by the Chinese, so they artificially inflated the prices. Now they really don't care what they sell it for if they can destroy Trump's financial agenda, and I think that's the whole plan. But I'm going to let you go and go back to listening, and thank you so much for everything.
Thanks for calling in, Chuck. Yeah, again, like I said, with these tariffs, well, like I said before, there's only 3 things that we could do with this national debt being so high, because we're teetering on the edge. Like, a lot of countries have gone further than we have and collapsed. We're right there. So something has to happen. Something drastic. You need
People can't afford houses right now.
Yeah, because it's either one thing, we default our loans, we go bankrupt, or we get a roaring economy going and start paying off our national debt, or we cut entitlement programs, and that's not happening. Americans love their entitlement programs. I mean, especially Social Security, Medicaid. And Trump's not going to touch that. That's never going to happen. Do I wish it could come down a little bit and more people went back to work, didn't abuse it? Well, that's what Doge is for. They're finding that kids that aren't even born yet that are collecting unemployment.
Well, how many of these illegals were getting welfare? How many of these illegals were getting Medicare? How many of these illegals were getting Social Security? I mean, as Trump just came out right now, is just looking and put an executive order out there that illegals are no longer allowed to receive Social Security.
They shouldn't have to.
Yeah, but it's funny because they keep coming to him saying, "Oh, he's going to get rid of your entitlement programs." Well, no, you guys have been doing that. You've been drying up the well.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how could you expect an illegal to collect Social Security when they never paid into it?
Well, you're not wrong. Now what Chuck was also just saying, right? The Chinese are coming over here and they're buying up all our land, all our farmlands, houses, right? I mean, they're buying, all their corporations are buying everything through the CCP. I mean, I don't know what the legal ramifications are, but I feel that we should almost, seize that land. Take it back.
Yeah. I mean, it's something to look into. I mean, I don't know.
They say they're buying all this farmland around military bases and things like that as well. I mean, that's a security threat, national security.
Well, I mean, think about it. China's our number one enemy across the board, economically.
We get all our pharmaceuticals from there. They control our food. I mean, look, man, they could be doing anything to us. I mean, we have obesity crisis. We have mental health crisis. We have autism crisis. We got all these different crises going on. Who's to say?
Yeah, and the precursors for fentanyl come from China.
And that's it.
From Mexico. I mean, it's everything to destroy.
But we allow them to own all this land here? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, but that's the thing. China is our number one enemy. I mean, I understand with the tariffs with the other countries. Trump with the 90-day pause on everybody but China. I get it. That's fine. Now he's trying to make a deal with them so we have even trade. Get it even. China, he's going over and above. You have 145%. See, the only thing with China, we're going to lose like 80% of trade with them. Now, it would have been over 90 if he didn't put the pause on the semiconductors and the the iPhones and all the electronics, stuff like that. Yeah. So, but it's still we're going to lose 80% trade with them. So it's going to hurt. But China is going to go out there and try to trade with other people as much as possible. So you have to corner all 4 sides of China. You can shut them down one area, you can shut them down another area. That's why we have to build ships, get our Navy back up because they have the number 1 Navy in the world now. We haven't built what was it? Rick was telling me how many ships we built in the past like decade or something like that. 4. China's like pumping them out like crazy, and that's why. Which it wasn't even on my radar when Trump went after the Panama Canal. I mean, I was like, what do you mean? What's wrong with the Panama Canal? Then I didn't even realize that China was trying to take it over. No. All they got to do is, if the war breaks out.
It shuts down trade because that saves you from going around South America.
Yeah, it saves you 27 days. But if there was a war, It's very narrow to enter, and it's very narrow to exit. Yeah, so you sink a ship on each end. You got a whole month to get your ships to where they need to go if there was a war, something like that. That's why we have to corner them all the way to the Indo-Pacific, everything. I mean, that's why look at Greenland, not just for the minerals. It's a strategic, like military base that we could have there. And even in Canada too. I mean, we are lucky enough to be surrounded by vast oceans, but technology is getting more and more, and China steals all of our information, all of our intellectual information. They hack into everything. Spy balloons that Joe Biden lets fly across the country.
Well, not only just that, but how many of these, intelligence guys have had Chinese spies as girlfriends?
Yeah. What's his name? I can't stand him.
Schiff? Was it Schiff?
No, it wasn't Schiff. It was. It'll come. It'll come to me.
There's too many to count.
Yeah, there is too many to count. But yeah, I mean, they have spies all over the place. But China's GDP is horrible. It's in the basement. They have full cities built that are empty because they went to their one child per household.
One child policy.
Yeah, unless you had a girl, then they let you have a boy. And now their population is way down. They live on trading with America because they've been raping the hell out of us with our money, then manipulating the dollar on top of that. And the VAT tax, and then now all those big cities that they built. I mean, they were using our money to build it. And they're empty, like empty cities of brand new buildings. And I don't know. We have to. You can't give China an out. You have to corner them on all four sides because they'll take one of the outs. And you don't want them going and trading with other countries and say, okay, well, we're going to trade with China because China makes the majority of everything.
Well, we went ahead and we gave China a lot of rights, right, back in the day when because we wanted to try to get them away from the communistic roots, right, to the best of my understanding. And what wound up happening is instead of us trying to bring them to American values, they started bringing us to Chinese values. They started bringing us to communistic values. That's how we find ourselves in this position right now.
Yeah, of course. I mean, deep-seated. Like, it started out early with kids, colleges and stuff like that, getting into college professors.
Well, our sports, right? NBA.
Oh, yeah.
All through the sports, the education. I mean, look, you go on the Daily Wire and look at the rise of China and how they infiltrated all over America.
Yeah. Look at John Cena. I mean, I never thought he was a good actor anyway. I know he was a wrestler, but I never let him really watch it, but he's a well-known name. I remember when he mentioned something about the Uyghurs. He said something about the slaves. That
the Uyghur Muslims?
Yeah, that they're using slaves. He mentioned something, and he has contracts with China with his movies, his bad movies.
Because they got all into our media as well, which is probably why you see a lot of the things that we see now is all garbage.
So he did a live apology. Well, no, I'm sorry. It was recorded and put it out there to China in Chinese. He learned how to speak the apology in Chinese, apologizing for offending them. Because all of his contracts were about to get yanked.
Well, LeBron James did it too.
Yeah.
Another one of the players. I don't follow basketball, but another one of the players came out and said something about China, and he had to go shut it down right away.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't follow basketball that much either. But again, I'm bad with names. But it was the one guy from another country. Almost had his name. But he was pretty good. But he didn't care. He came out straight against. He lost all his contracts, and he got traded. Now he's not in the NBA anymore because of that. Because of that reason. But we had somebody text in. This guy Keith. He said Republicans and Democrats are the same, pure un-American. Well, Keith, I think you're talking about the Uniparty. See, when I say Republicans, I'm talking about grassroots Republicans like myself, like Pete, people that tell the truth, people that care.
America first.
Yeah, America first.
We care about America, man. I want to see America get back on its grand hill. I want to see it rise back up. Yeah. I mean, I'm tired of seeing, what's going on here. It's not the same America that it was when I was a kid. And it probably wasn't even then that either. That was just me being naive as a child.
Yeah.
But we can get America back to what it's supposed to be.
We can. And I believe that you're talking about the Uniparties, or what we call them, or the Rhinos. The Rhinos are Republican in name only. Uniparty, same thing. Excuse me. They're all in it for power. See, people like me that ran, I wasn't. I'm a union carpenter, and I'm a construction manager. I build commercial buildings. We have a car. Hold on one second. That's what I do for a living. I love my job. Pete's a nurse, loves his job, likes taking care of people, and both of us were called upon to make a difference. And we did. So, and we tried to anyway. I mean, Pete's in the race right now, and now we're on the radio. Now we're at the podcast, telling the truth. So I am a pure Puritan, I would say, Republican. Not too far right. I'm right into the middle, but I'm common sense. So, I mean, yes, when you say Democrats and Republicans are like un-American, I think I would say that you're talking about the Uniparty or the Rhinos. So people take this caller right now. So, hey, caller, you're live. You're in the air. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hi, I'm Betty from Hamilton.
Hello, Betty.
I think the name that you're looking for is Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Facebook owner.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was talking about the basketball player, but yeah, Mark Zuckerberg is one of them too, with China as well.
Yeah, he is. He's married to her.
Yes, he is, very much so. I remember they just came out with something a couple weeks ago about where he lied and said he didn't have all the different contracts with China. I believe it had to do with the Oculus and everything else, and he lied about it. And here he does. He's got so much invested with China. China got so much invested in him that they have his hooks in them.
And that's why they were shutting down all the America First, all the Trump movement on, Facebook. You tried to post something on there, it was getting banned, shadow banned, blocked. You couldn't see nothing. I mean, yeah, he's definitely in that category with the censorship and everything else as well.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean,
I was blocked.
Yeah, that's why I think it was just making the Oculus and stuff like that, the Meta stuff like that, because Facebook is banned in China. It's not allowed. Just like WhatsApp. Like I remember my buddy was working on my campaign.
Well, let him stay in the cave he's living in.
Yeah, because a buddy of mine, he's Chinese, and he went to visit his grandparents. He hasn't seen them in years. And he went over there, and he couldn't really text or anything like that. He said, well, try to use WhatsApp, and I don't even use it. But I was like, all right, I'll try it. But it wouldn't let it go through because Facebook owned it.
Yeah, well, I said something that I got banned for against Zuckerberg because he's not fair to anybody that was on Facebook. And I don't know where they get the right to censor everything somebody's saying.
No,
they're just picking people.
No, you're right. That's why they should be held accountable, and I think they are now even more.
No, I hope so.
So, because what is it? Section 132 or something like that. It's where media. See, if I'm say I work for Fox or I work for ABC, and I say something that is offensive to somebody or something that's wrong, something that's like slander against somebody, I can be sued. Just like Stephanopoulos got sued by Trump because he called him a rapist, and he was never convicted of rape. So Trump sued him. And Trump sued him and won $15 million because he called him a rapist. He was never convicted of rape, but he worked for a network. Now, social media platforms aren't subject to that because they're not the ones saying it. It's a platform where people are allowed to go on and post their own stuff. So they don't work for Facebook. They use Facebook as a tool to communicate with people. So you can't have your cake and eat it too. So you can't just
right.
You can't not be subject to getting sued for somebody saying something if you're going to censor something that people are saying and only let them see what you want them to see. So it's
well, the fact checkers need to get another job because they're not doing a good job.
Oh, they're doing the job they're paid to do. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, the wrong job.
Yeah.
But I mean, seriously, I got dropped for a while because I said something that I thought was truthful because I don't lie. And they said, oh, it was inappropriate. It wasn't for community purposes. I violated community standards. I said, how in the hell did I do that?
Yeah, they do that. They do that a lot. I mean, even when people were posting stuff about COVID, they were banned. Even though a lot of the things they were saying were true, they were just told to silence it. When people put some stuff out there about Hunter Biden's laptop, the government actually told Facebook to censor it. And Zuckerberg at least admitted as much in Congress. He said, yeah, he was contacted by the FBI, and they told him that it is Russian disinformation, so do not allow it on the site, and he pulled it down. So, I mean, our government was even involved with that one, well, the Biden administration anyway. But yeah, he shouldn't be allowed to do that. I know a lot of people get put on Facebook jail. I got to watch what I say sometimes on Facebook because it.
Oh, please. I look at it. I wished my mom a happy birthday today, and I haven't been back on it since.
You didn't get banned for that? No, I'm kidding.
No, well, they banned me for wishing a happy birthday to my 84-year-old mother.
But think about this though, right? We always talk about how, you know, a lot of these people on the left are listening to all the propaganda, how they're being brainwashed right now. A lot of it started with Facebook, because where were a lot of normal people getting their information from, getting their news from Facebook, from social media?
Right.
You know, and if they were only getting one side and the other side was shut down, you couldn't even talk about it.
Well, that's why I love the fact that Elon Musk bought Twitter and named it X, because you can say whatever you want on Twitter. I mean, there will be a disclaimer on there if something isn't true. Say, you know, somebody says something completely false, it will use like Grok, the AI, to say, well, none of this was found or cited by anything, but you know, this is what this person is saying. It wasn't actually cited by any type of real news, but they'll allow you to put whatever you want on there. You're not going to get banned from X. And he overpaid, you know, way overpaid for Twitter just for free speech. He paid $44 billion for it. He paid more than double what it was worth. It's not like he doesn't have the money, but he did it for free speech because he was tired of the censorship.
Well, I greatly appreciate you guys standing up for Trump, because everybody's bashing him so bad lately.
Yeah, I know.
They're not giving him a chance for anything.
Yeah, well, the thing is, a lot of people just don't like him. And it's not about, listen, do I think Trump is perfect? No way, shape, or form. Nobody's perfect. I mean, he's made mistakes. I mean, he wasn't always faithful. I mean, Bill Clinton wasn't either. You know, but I mean, there's a lot of stuff that a man will do personally or a woman will do personally. But it's not about Trump can say things out of pocket to, you know, and a lot of times he does it on purpose to troll the media. But you know, but he may come across as brass and you know, stuff like that. But it's not about the person; it's about the policies. You know,
Exactly.
You know, if you, whatever you do at home in your personal life, as long as you're America first and the deals that you're making are for the United States of America, make this country better, you can be whoever you want when you're home, as long as you're not, you know, murdering people or, you know, or anything like that.
Yeah,
breaking the law. You know, but yeah, as long as you're America first, I mean, you can be, you know, known as a mean person or known as an insensitive person or something like that. But as long as you're doing your job as president and your policies are good and they're America first policies, then I'm all in.
Right. Well, you have a fantabulous day, and I greatly appreciate you taking time to talk to me.
Oh, no problem. Anytime. Thank you for listening. You can call in anytime.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm ready.
And Pete, you know what? You know, like I said before, I really like everything that we said tonight. You know, I would like somebody to call in that disagrees but you know, that can have the conversation. That we can just talk back and forth. They can call, ask me a question, ask you a question, make a statement, and then pause, and then one of us will answer the question or follow up with the question and make a statement and have a dialogue back and forth. Because I want to know. I want to know from people that think that biological men should be in women's sports. I want to know that, you know, people think that Ortega Garcia should be brought back to the United States, because I want to know why. I want to hear it. Well, I'll admit it. Maybe there goes my microphone again. I'll admit it. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't think I am, but I'm willing to listen to somebody that's willing to put it out there and you know, and have that conversation.
Well, all you have to do is watch CNN and NBC, and you'll hear all the talking points. I mean, that's all.
Yeah, I know, but still, I still yearn for like a normal conversation. Like I miss this guy Butch on my job. He's not there anymore, electrician, but he was Democrat through and through. You know, voted for Kamala.
Jesus!
But it was mainly because he hated Trump. Yeah. But. You know,
that's what they've done over the past 10 years. You know what I mean? That's what they've done. And they made it so that you really can't have these conversations. Because as soon as you try to have one of these conversations, the other side escalates very, very fast.
Yeah, they do.
You know, very, very fast. And it's just like, my guy, why are you so mad?
Yeah, I know. I'm not mad. I'm just
Oh no, I'm not saying it to you.
No, I'm just saying. Having that conversation. I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm just saying what I think, and I want to hear what you think. That's why this guy put some job. He's a great guy, but he was Democrat through and through. Hated Trump, but we would sit there and talk about it, and then he would always mess with me, like, "Oh, how's your boy doing? Now that he's in, is he going to keep his promises?" I'm like, "Oh, we'll see what happens." And so far, he is. I wish he was still in the job. I'm like, "Hey, you have to."
Well, he's glad he's not, I guess.
Yeah. So, but it was a good dialogue to have, and we would go back and forth. He made some good points too, and that's the thing.
Yeah,
he did make some good points, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to look into that. I appreciate the conversation. We're friends, so we're coworkers and friends. So
they've made it so that it's very, very difficult to remain that way. Yeah. Right? And if you're on the other side, it's like, people try to look down on you or something like that, like you're the outcast. It's like, I'm sorry, my guy. More than 50% of America voted for Trump. Yeah. I mean, are we really the outcast? We just don't rally quite as well as the other side.
Yeah, because no one's paying us to do it.
Well, you're not wrong about that.
It's like the Tesla dealership protest. Like I showed you guys.
They stopped talking about that, though, right? We haven't heard anything about the Tesla dealership. Are they still doing that? Or now they switched their entire gear over to this Garcia guy?
Now it's a Garcia guy now, so I don't know. I don't know if there's one tomorrow or not. This microphone, Norm keeps giving me bad microphones. So, but yeah, I don't know if there's one this Saturday or not. But it was like just trying to talk to them. It was like the hardest thing ever. But before we're getting close to the end, so before I forget, I have to talk about this book right here, guys. This is Bone Deep Blues. Bone Deep Blues, everybody. Now, Bone Deep Blues is ripped from today's headlines by New Jersey author Brian O'Callaghan. This book is an award-winning international bestseller that delivers action, suspense, and humor. The story follows J.D. Walker, a former Navy SEAL turned blues musician, as he confronts a human trafficking network led by a figure known as the Ice Queen. When those close to J.D. are taken, he finds himself in a high-stakes chess game, an auction to sell his brother's fiancée is about to take place. Now, Brian O'Callaghan, a former police detective, combines personal experiences and extensive research, weaving in his passion for blues music. Bone Deep Blues kicks off the J.D. Walker action series and tackles the pressing issue of human trafficking with well-developed characters that spring to life in this fast-paced narrative. This exhilarating book is now available in print and digital form on Amazon.com and thebigdogmedia.com. And by the way, got a 4.8 out of 5-star review. It is a very good book. I rarely read books, and when he comes out with the next one, I'm going to read that one. My wife read it as well. It's awesome. Pete has time while he's going to be campaigning, so
I don't have time for anything right now. I wish.
He's going to wait for the movie. I'm waiting for the movie too, because it would make a great movie. But when the second book comes out, Brian, I'm going to read it. But it is well worth it. It is a good read. And again, Amazon.com, thebigdogmedia.com, and Brian O'Callaghan is he's local from New Jersey. You don't have to be from New Jersey to buy the book, by the way. But let's support our Jersey guys, because he spent his whole career as a detective, and he used all of his experience and his knowledge doing that to put this book together. And it's a very good book, so go check it out. Amazon.com, thebigdogmedia.com. Bone Deep Blues, right here.
The last caller was, she had mentioned it's good to find people that are defending Trump and things like that. Listen, anybody out there that's listening, if this is how you feel, you should probably go check out your local GOPs. Because it's good to get together and have conversations and know that you're not alone out there. Right? There are other people in your area, in your neighborhood that feel the same way, and they gather at these GOP meetings, and you should really look into going.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, what we should do is start, bringing a list of the meetings with us.
Yeah,
when they are. Because as you know, Peter Sykes here, he's running for assembly in LD6 with his running mate, Jack Brangan. It's a team that's going to really do some good, do some damage, going against some, I would say, allegedly corrupt Democrats. People that have been in office for 30 years. I mean, come on.
30 years.
Yeah.
I went to the Haddonfield meeting the other day, right? And it was really good. I'd like to see more people there. I'd like to see more younger people getting involved. That's something that I would absolutely like to see. We keep hearing that these 19, 21-year-olds are all skewing right. I would very much like to see them get more active and try to go ahead and get involved in your local GOPs, and maybe we could grow this thing out, man. And look, we're trying to turn New Jersey red here, and we're going to need everybody. So start getting active. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid that you're going to be looked down upon or shunned by your neighbors. I mean, listen, man, there's enough of us out here where we can change this state red if we all come together.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I just say that before. Patrick worked with me on my campaign. Smart kid.
Yep, Maple Shade will be coming up there.
Yeah, he's good. He's got a great future. Young Republicans Club. They're having a get together and a fundraiser for the GOP.
Mm-hmm.
So they're young. They're involved. I mean, I spoke with Rowan too. There's a lot of young Republicans there. And one of the kids, Tom, helped out my campaign. Great kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and he just wants to graduate, get a job, go to work like everybody else, be a productive member of society, and maybe make some change one day.
Oh, productive member of society. That's what we should all be striving to be.
Yeah. So, all right, people, we got about 2 minutes left. So, first, I just want to say, hey, every Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m., you got the Jersey Shore Radio Show with Pete and myself. Friday night, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., you have the Jersey Shore podcast, and then also on Monday night, they're both at 8 p.m. So every Friday and Monday at 8 p.m., you have the podcast. Every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m., we got the radio show right here. So tune in. You can find the podcast on Rumble, YouTube. It's on my Facebook page, just the Damon Galdo Facebook page. It's on X, all social media outlets that are out there. And then, Pete, you want to tell people where to find you, talk about your website and everything?
Yeah, we're working on getting the website up and running. It's up right now. We can't take donations just yet, but if you want to go check us out, votejackandpete.com. Once again, that's votejackandpete.com. And you can see our platform, see what we're about, try to learn a little bit more about us. And you can check me out. I'm also Facebook, Peter Sykes. You can check me out over there. We also have a Vote Jack and Pete Facebook page as well. That one's coming up and running. So we're trying to put it all together here.
All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll get into it next time a little bit further. That story. I don't know if I told the story about my sister with Pennies in Action on the show. I did it on the podcast, but I'll talk about it on the next show. About it. I think it was a miracle, like kind of hand of God type thing. So, and I just want everyone to have a happy Easter. And one more thing I want to say before we go. I forgot to bring this in because Biden came out just in time for Easter. His wife must hate him because they must need money bad because all that Ukraine money dry up. So they put him out there for a speech, and he got paid well to do it. And he just showed that the resurrection is possible. So dead presidents can be resurrected. So, Jesus' resurrection is on Sunday. So Biden was resurrected the other day, and he sounded even worse. I can't believe they rolled him out there on the stage. His wife must hate him. But other than that, happy Easter, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll talk to you next week, and I'll catch you on my podcast tomorrow night and Monday night. Thank you.
All righty, bye-bye.
Monera's Appliances in Vineland is having their spring appliance sale. Right now, when you buy 4 or more eligible cafe appliances, you can get up to $3,800 back. GE Cafe Appliances offer a high-performance, restaurant-inspired, luxurious look for your kitchen. And it comes in stainless steel.
America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.